When it comes to picking a palette knife, there's a few things you want to look at. And I have a lot of experience using the Bob Ross palette knives, which in my opinion are some of my favorite palette knives. And I'm going to go over really quick why they make such good palette knives. Well, the first thing you're going to notice right off the bat is the fact that there's two different palette knives. A number 10 palette knife, which has a larger face and blade on it, and a number 5 palette knife, which has a smaller blade and face on it. They both can achieve the same things. They can both be used for mixing your paint on your palette. They can both be used for creating awesome effects like making mountain blocking shapes or breaking snow on top of those mountains or creating water lines. There's a lot of uses for them. And the nice thing about these palette knives is at the blade, you have a fat end and a thin end for creating different effects on both the large and small knife. Also, you get a lot of flexibility out of the knife, allowing you to mix paint nice and flat on your mixing palette, and also allows you to get a little bit closer if you need to scrape on top of your canvas for, again, some awesome effects. One of the best things I appreciate about the palette knife is the large, fat cylinder handle that actually tapers from thin to fat, making it more comfortable for my hand and all the different ways that I like to hold it. And that's probably the best selling point for me, is I have like a medium build, and when you're painting for a long time, I find it more comfortable to have a handle that's a little bit thicker because it allows my hand to relax more while I'm using the palette knife. And for the number 10 and number 5 palette knife, they actually share the same width and tapering on the handle, so that's a win in my book. The only difference between the number 10 and number 5 palette knife is the size. The number 10 palette knife will pretty much cover you for everything, and if you're deciding between the two, I would say go with that one. It pretty much does everything you're gonna need it to do. However, if you do a lot of finer detail work, you're gonna find that the number 10 palette knife is gonna be hard to get into some places, which is why you may wanna get the number 5 palette knife. It's for a lot more finer detail, and it won't be as distracting or maybe catch some other parts of your painting that you may not wanna touch. The palette knives are great. You can use them for a number of things, and I don't think you can go wrong with the Bob Ross palette knives. They come in at a nice budget-friendly price, and I've had mine for a number of years, and they hold up great as long as you clean them. Just put them in a little bit of thinner on the blade and wipe them clean, and you're all done. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.